Hiya, friends. Prepared Suburbanite back at you. You know, there's an awful lot of really bad things going on in the world and in our country today. And at the risk of sounding like a fearmonger, which I try not to do, I truly want to touch on some of these issues that I see that are giving all kinds of concern to folks like us, the prepper community. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what we can do to be ready for whatever's coming. So stick around. So first up in this morning's Fox News website is this particular headline. Iran closes in on nuclear bomb as Biden's costly de-escalation plan backfires. That's pretty scary that Joe Biden is out there leading our country into what I think is going to be an all-out World War III scenario. It doesn't matter if it's Iran, China, Russia, or a combination of all three. Whether it's the proxies that are involved in this, the Houthis, Hezbollah, you name it, his inability to influence foreign policy in a positive manner is absolutely atrocious. The guy is way out of his league. He doesn't know really what's going on. He's making decisions based on input from a bunch of lefty radicals, and he's going to get us into a huge amount of trouble. So moving along, we're going to see our friend here, the Secretary of State, Lloyd Austin. As of, I'm recording this on Sunday, the 14th. And as of last evening, Lloyd Austin remains hospitalized at Johns Hopkins Hospital. It can only tell me that there's something seriously wrong with the Secretary of Defense. But the fact that this was covered up, that the president wasn't informed about this, that it skirted routine protocols for this kind of eventuality, it's pretty scary. I don't think Joe Biden demands enough respect from anybody in his cabinet to actually inform him of what's really going on. And Lloyd Austin, who is about as lefty as you can get, has done absolutely nothing but teach our troops to use the proper pronouns instead of being able to fight and win a war. Moving right along. What is happening here is the pro-Hamas riot, I guess, or whatever they want to call it, in Washington, D.C., at the White House, on the White House grounds. The damage they've done and the threats that they were making forced the Secret Service and Capitol Police to remove some of the White House staffers and journalists that are stationed there, to move them out and try to secure the White House as best they could. Now, thankfully, nobody was hurt, nobody was shot at, but this is pretty darn serious stuff. I'm thinking that if the shoe was on the other foot, and this was a Donald Trump rally of some sort that was in front of a federal courthouse or in Washington, D.C., someplace, and this kind of activity happened, that there would be calls for continuing insurrection activity against Donald Trump and the folks that support Donald Trump. But I don't think that any of these people, these anti-Israeli and pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine groups, I don't think they're going to see any retribution, any justice at all. I don't have that amount of faith in our Justice Department at all anymore, and it's really kind of sad that this is happening this way. What this is, I think, is truly an insurrection. And I'm going to move over to Town Hall and give them a hat tip because they have said that very simply that this is that this is an insurrection. It meets all the definitions. This is the seat of our government. This is the headquarters of the executive branch in the government. They tried to breach the fences. The Secret Service and the Capitol Police had to be mobilized to extract staffers that were on site. Thankfully, the president wasn't there. He was at Camp David, from what I understand. And but this is what's going on. They engaged in an insurrection. By every definition, they tried to storm the White House, and I don't think any of them are going to see any arrests. They're not going to see any retribution. They're not going to see our Justice Department or our Congress calling for huge investigations into this as something. It's just going to pass by the wayside, and it's truly, truly alarming. And this is from Microsoft itself, MSN, and has a second American Civil War begun? Well, I think it has, and it's because of that fella right there that's doing what he's doing. I am just absolutely blown away about how incompetent this current administration and Joe Biden himself is. The stuff that's going on with the affiliations with the Chinese Communist Party, the money that's been changing hands back and forth, the attack on our liberties, the attack on our constitutionally guaranteed God-given rights, the attack on natural fuels that are out there, this whole push to take coal away, to take natural gas away, to remove stoves and air conditioners and ceiling fans and pretty much everything, water heaters. It's just crazy. And what I'm looking at here is a civil war. Now, this isn't going to be the same kind of a civil war that was fought in 1860 with troops marching into an open field and lined up with muskets and shooting at each other and all that. That's not going to be the way it is. But it's already started, and I think I have to agree here that the division and separation that the current administration is facilitating right now, separating the red states from the blue states, separating the folks by race and skin color, it's the war has already begun. And the only reason that we haven't heard the shot around the world yet is the conservatives are trying to conserve this country. I don't believe the Democrats are anywhere near in their thinking that are trying to save this country. Oh, they talk an awful lot about saving democracy, but saving democracy is really, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic, and there's a big difference between the two. Democracy is mob rule. And if there's more of them than there is of us, that's why they want to preserve mob rule, or as they call it, democracy. I'm concerned about this and will be for a very long time. So here I am, sitting in my office on a Sunday afternoon. Today's the 14th of January. You'll see this video tomorrow morning. God, with God's grace, that's for sure. The Civil War, I think, is already started with the folks making their decisions by moving from blue states to red states. They're making the blue states bluer. They're making the red states purple. And the division, whether it's based on political affiliation or political party, or whether it's based on race or skin color, ideology, religion, it's already begun. And I'm at a loss right now. All I can do for myself, for my loved ones, and for my family is to make sure that I am absolutely 100% prepared as far as my abilities can take me. That means we have to have a stockpile of food that's going to get us through one of the meanest crises we've ever seen. And we're talking at least 6 months worth of food for your immediate family. 12 months would be much better. Make sure that your house is secure. Make sure you've got a way and means to defend that, your home, your homestead, and your family. Make sure that you've got enough food, water, and shelter to get you through any tough time that's coming. They say the rule of threes, the 3 hours without air and 3 days without water and 3 weeks without food, whatever it is. I think there's a fourth number 3 that we need to have out there, and it's hope. I don't think we're going to make it 3 seconds without hope. But if you've got hope and you've got confidence in your preparedness, I would think that's going to go a long way to allow you to make it through the other issues in the rule of threes. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.